Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today I'm not starting with Kirtan. We'll start off with, otherwise, do we want to do, anybody wants to do like Damodar Ashtakam? Would you like to sing along? Since the Damodar month is going on, maybe we can sing Damodar Ashtakam once and then we can start the class. I'll just sing it without the lyrics.
Mataji, if you sing, it will be nice. We can listen.
Okay. I'm not, do you want me to share the lyrics or did you sing it?
I won't be able to see, but others I'm not sure. I'll at least listen.
Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll share the lyrics and I'll sing it. Let me open that. So Damodar month, I hope all of you are aware of the importance of the Damodar month. I hope you are lighting the ghee lamps. If you go to the temple, it's absolutely blissful, especially you go around 6 o'clock, you can see the evening aarti and then everybody lighting the ghee lamps. You know, if you go to any ISKCON temple, it's really blissful. If not, at least at home, you should try to light the ghee lamp. If you have the picture of the Damodar Leela, nothing like it, then you can do it, light a ghee lamp, rotate it 4 times on the feet, 2 times on the, what do you call it, navel, and 3 times on the face.
And 7 times around the body, right?
Yeah. And 7 times for the whole body. Yeah, that's right. So I hope you're doing it. If you can do it every day, it's really nice. But at least, and you can try to get to maximum people to do it also. You can call somebody, or when you go to somebody's house, take a small Damodar picture and take a little bit of the, diya and ghee and all, and ask, get it done in their house. That's also supposed to be really blissful. I mean, very beneficial to share. Okay, so I'll share the lyrics and I'll sing it also. You can mute and sing it along with me if your tune is similar to mine. So let's go through the Damodar Leela quickly. So the Damodar Ashtakam was found in the Padma Purana of Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, spoken by Satyavrata Muni in a conversation with Narada Muni and Shaunaka Rishi in the month of Kartika, that is, which is going on to go on till November 6th, I think. One should worship Lord Damodar and daily should try to sing this Damodar Ashtakam. When you're lighting the diya, it's nice to chant it, or if you can't sing it, there are 8 verses. If you find it tough to sing, just play it in the background, just put it on your mobile and play it. It was spoken by Sage Satyavrata and it attracts Lord Damodara. This is given in Shri Hari Bhakti Vilasa. So I'll just sing it. Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Bhrajamanam Yashodabhiyolukhaladhavamanam Paramrishtamatyantato Drutya Gopya Rudantam Muhurnetra Yugmam Rijantam Karambojayugmena Satankanitram Muhushwasakam Patrirekhankakantha Sthitagraivam Damodaram Bhaktibadham Iti Drikswalila Bherananda Kunde Swagosham Nimajjantam Akyapayantam तदीयेषितज्ञेषु भक्तर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सतावृत्ति वन्दे वरं देव मोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरेशादपि हा इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबालम् सदा मे मनस्य विरस्तां किमन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्भोजमत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुन्तलैः स्निग्धरक्तश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मनस्या विरास्तामलं लक्षलाभे नमो देव दामोदरानन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजालाब्धिमाग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदिनं बतानु गृहाणे क्षमामज्ञं यदक्षिदृशः कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमूर्त्यैव यद्वत् त्वया मोचितो भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकमे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मे श्रीदामोदरेह नमस्ते सुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे I hope the slides are visible and you can see it moving. Is it Srila Prabhupada now? Hare Krishna.
Now we can see Radha Krishna's picture, Mataji.
You can't see Prabhupada?
No.
I don't know why. Some PPTs, they don't change when I change it. So I have to again share it. Okay, are you able to see the PPT now?
Yeah, now we can see Prabhupada's picture.
All right. You're seeing Prabhupada's picture now, right?
Yes, yes.
I can't see though. I think this new PPT is possible. You're able to see Srila Prabhupada now?
Yes, Mataji.
And now can you see all three of them? Prabhupada, Jayapataka and Namasha Prabhu? Jayapataka Maharaj.
No, we are still on the second slide.
Okay, now can you see the third slide?
Yes, Mataji.
And the fourth one now?
Yes, yes. It's moving.
Yeah, thank you so much. So before we begin, let's pay humble obeisances to the beautiful deities of Shri Shri Radha Govinda temple. And pay respect to Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and also his disciple, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, and his disciple, Temple President, His Grace Namishra Das Prabhu. I also want to seek the blessings of Aishwarya Mataji, Rashmi Mataji, and all the many Shiksha Gurus from whom I have been learning. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णापादन सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपिका गोपी दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्दा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So I welcome you all. I am grateful that some of you have joined. Deepak Prabhu, Manas Prabhu, Shashikala Mataji, Shraddha Mataji, Sunil Mataji, Swayambhava Mataji, and Tripti Mataji. So today we will try and do chapter 5 if possible. We'll try to complete it. So these are the sections, the first two sections we have already covered in the last 2 weeks, I think. Section 1 is we studied about how Nishkam Karma Yoga is declared by Krishna as better than renouncing work. That is doing work without any attachments to the fruit. And then Krishna very beautifully explains how it is that you can perform the Nishkama Karma Yoga. What do you do to perform Nishkama Karma Yoga? So we looked at these two sections in detail. And today we are going to look at a very amazing section where we realize that we are never the only doer. Right? So if something is happening, it's not just us. There are three main things. You will see 5 things related to things which happen around us, but who is the doer of the things which happen is basically there are 3 doers. You are not the only doer of everything that you are doing. 3 things have to work together, only then you become the doer. And the 3 things are basically, first of all, you yourself, you as a living person, the soul, how the soul desires, and then it wants to carry out different activities, and so it does it. But then it cannot do unless a second doer is also doing, is also helping in the doing of the thing, which is the nature. So unless the modes of material nature, like suppose you want to study for this exam, but then you're tied by the tamogun, and so you just don't want to get up and start picking up your book and reading. The tamogun is so heavy on you. You have been feeding the tamogun, and so you just don't feel like doing it. You just can't get up and do it, although you should do it. So then, unless the modes of material nature which you have been, promoting, not only you, but also the people who need to make it a success. Suppose you want an activity to be a success, unless everybody is in the proper mode which is required. Sometimes, in fact, if you say tamogun also is not always bad. For example, at night, if you are not in tamogun, you will not feel sleepy. Like if you're in Rajogun and you want to be, all so passionate, sleep will not come. Right? So the Tamogun is what makes us sleep. So sometimes there are some modes which are favorable for some activities. So likewise, the different modes of not only yourself, but the others who make your activity successful, they also should be in that particular mode required. So the modes of material nature, if it doesn't favor the action which you think you should be doing, then that action will not happen. Finally, the most important is the sanction of the Lord Himself, the Super Soul or Krishna. So Krishna and Super Soul are actually non-different. Although Super Soul is the Paramatma within our heart, he is only Krishna. It's just that Krishna can be, in multiple places at all at the same time. So he is not in multiple, but in millions of places. He is inside every living entity's heart. He's also inside every atom. And so it's amazing how this, and he's aware of everything all the time. So that super soul has to sanction for the action. Without his sanction, the action will not take. So these are the three doers: the person, the soul in himself, the modes of nature, it is the nature should support, and super soul has to sanction. And only then you will something will be you'll be able to do something. So this is a very important section. We'll go through it, and the slokas are also very nice. And then in section 4 we will look at liberation by focus on the super soul. How is it that you can get liberation simply by focusing on the super soul? And the final section, there is a little bit of Ashtanga Yoga for 2 verses, and then there is a bliss formula, which is my favorite, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam, in which my favorite line is Suhridam Sarva Bhuteshu. Krishna says that I am the best friend of every living entity. Nobody can become a better friend than me. Okay, so this is the 3 actions, this first section that we are doing today. The 3 doers, like I told you, doer 1 is the living entity himself. The living entity himself, the soul becomes a doer only if he knows that all body activities are automatically carried out. How? By the 3 modes of nature. So when he knows he has power to do, otherwise he will just be following his mind. The mind will follow the senses will follow sense objects, and he's just doing things blindly, like a machine. He's not even taking control of what he's doing. So when he knows that all his body activities are automatically carried out by material nature, and he has, a certain amount of power over what he's doing, he has a limited freedom. Krishna doesn't give full freedom at all. A limited freedom, which also he can exercise only if he has some knowledge. And when he has a knowledge that the modes of nature are the ones who are actually carrying out the actions, then after those activities, and then the next step is that these activities have to be sanctioned by the super soul, who is a third doer. And when the living being understands that these are the 3 doers and he is not the only doer, then he attains enlightenment, not through that, there's a spelling error there, through that knowledge. So when the doer or the living entity or the soul realizes that he is not the only doer, there are 3 main doers, then he has attained enlightenment. He will never feel sad, because if something terrible happens, he will immediately know that this could not have happened without the sanction of God. So, you will accept everything that comes in your life, everybody that comes in your life to be a message of God in training you to be who you are supposed to be. So you will look around, you will see that everything happening is because of everybody's different karmas and modes. So you will not be upset with the way things are. At the same time, you won't be callous, or you won't become, kind of not bothered. You know that as a human being, you are given the responsibility of sorting out things which are in your control. So whatever you should, you shouldn't say, oh, this is their karma, oh, this is their mode, and they're in this mode, so I don't need to interfere. No, whatever is your duty, you have to try and do it. But you have the knowledge that, even if you try, you may not succeed, because it won't have, probably doesn't have the sanction of the law. Probably the different modes which all the people involved are not, conducive for that action to happen. So you will not be affected at all. Like suppose you're going for a tournament and you lose, you won't be affected internally. Of course, you will cry with all your friends, or you may cheer if you win and all that. But internally, you are very, very clear about this knowledge after the Bhagavad Gita. So you'll be so stable, so calm. Imagine if children get this knowledge. children will be like, so amazing. They will be enjoying their life. At the same time, they will never, be so distraught and depressed and go into the stress and go into all these kind of addictions. And you can see today it's so sad. The condition of children today is very, very sad. No knowledge of the Gita, no knowledge about God. In many families, they don't even have a prayer space or nothing at all. And they're just running after material things day after day, sad when something bad happens, then depressed, then taking to drugs, taking to addictions. It's so important, this knowledge. I think everybody who get this knowledge must do their best to spread it. This is just a pictorial depiction of the three doers. So you get enlightenment when you know the three doers in perspective, the Jiva, the Prakriti, and the super soul, that is Paramatma. So if you know these three things, Jiva, Prakriti, and Paramatma, these are the three things you need to know, then you will be enlightened. You have this knowledge. Okay. So let's look at all of them one by one. So in 5.13, the verse goes like this. The verse is not there in this slide somehow. सर्वकर्माणि मनसा सन्न्यस्यास्ते सुखं वशी नवद्वारे पुरे देहि नैव कुर्वन्न कारयन्. So if you look at the picture under this, the blue color, the translation is that when the embodied living being controls his nature and renounces all actions, he resides happily. So once he gets this knowledge, what happens to him? He's happy inside the city. The body is compared to a huge city with so many activities happening, and it has 9 gates. The 2 eyes, the 2 ears, the mouth, the anus and the rectum, and the 2 nostrils. And right, so these are the 9 gates. So this material body is like a city of 9 gates, and a person who has this knowledge, he will be happy. Because he's not, once he is not, he knows this, he gets this knowledge, he offers whatever he does to Krishna. And so he's not bound by the karma. So although he's doing activities, at the same time, he's not working or causing work to be done because he's doing a karma. So there's an English poem like, thing from Chaitanya Prabhu's, this one, blog. With mind renouncing every deed, the wise find a divine joy indeed. So, once your mind is renouncing all actions, knowing that you are not in charge of any action, and the wise person who knows this, he finds a divine joy. In the city of 9 gates, deciding without misidentifying, he has no confusion. He knows he's not the body, he's not the mind, it's all being controlled by nature. And so he is very happily residing, neither acting nor inciting others to action, entangling. So he doesn't get entangled in any more karma bandhas. He's free. The prayer which goes with this shloka is, "Oh Lord, let me remember that my body is just a city in which I'm residing. I will be shifting after whatever number of days or years. Nobody knows. Maybe the next moment I may die. Nobody knows. It can just happen any moment. So that's it. However long God has destined me to be in this city, I will be. Just as a seasoned traveler resigned in different cities at different times, I, as a soul, I've already lived in many bodies in the past. I have gone through so many different cities. It is simply by circumstance determined by my past karma that now I happen to be in this present body. So this constant remembrance that I am not this body, the body is just like a city in which I am staying. And I've already stayed in so many different cities. And if I don't do a karma and go back to Godhead, I will again continue shifting from one city to the other. So the first doer is the jiva. What kind of a jiva? Who has a knowledge that he is in the city of 9 gates, and he knows that he is a soul and that he is not the body. This picture is very complex. I actually haven't looked at it carefully myself. It's depicting, I think so, Durga Devi, the Durg, we are all trapped in there. People like Narada are outside. They are transcendental and they can, travel anywhere. So you can see Lord Shiva is also depicted. A lot of things are depicted there. Okay. So the prayer continues for this verse. According to this word, grant me, O Lord, this dispassionate vision of my body. So we have to, as people who are studying the Gita, we should be able to gradually have a dispassionate vision of our own body, not getting too attached to it or identify too much with it. Why? So that I neither mistake it to be my identity. I don't keep thinking that I am so and so Indian, Hindu, this, that. And I don't seek the pleasure in bodily senses. Once you are stopping to seek, of course, you have different pleasures based on the karma. You've done some good karma, you will enjoy maybe a luxurious house, a good car, a good family, a good wife, whatever. So whatever is there, which you have already earned from your previous karma, you will be enjoying all that. But then you're not going to seek out new pleasures. I want a bigger car. I want a bigger house. I want to, you won't have all these desires anymore, because you know that the human being ultimate desire is to not, get into another body again. You get your spiritual body, like how Narada did. In Bhagavatam, we study how Narada, he was at one point of time a maid servant's son, and how he got association of some devotees and he got realization, and how God presented himself before him and then disappeared, and how he spent his that particular life in devotional service, and at the end he just suddenly got a transcendental body. So that is what happens when you start doing akarma and constantly think of Krishna. So, continuing on the prayer, whenever I reside in a city, my Lord, I want its basic maintenance to go on. If you say staying in a city, the city should run properly. So, you are staying in the body. You're not allowed to suicide. You're not allowed to say, oh, okay, fine, I don't want this body and suicide. You're not allowed to do that because it doesn't belong to you. So, when you're staying there, you should take care of it. You should eat properly, sleep properly. You need to maintain it. Similarly, I want the continuation of whatever necessary inflow and outflow is required for maintenance of the body. That's all you should care for. You should think that I need to maintain my body and be healthy. Why? So that I can serve Krishna. But just as I never mistake the city's maintenance and transactions to be the source of pleasure or distress, let me also never mistake bodily maintenance and functions for sources of true happiness or suffering. So don't think that this body's different maintenance and transactions are the cause of your sorrow or happiness. Help me, O Lord, to reside in the city of the body without interfering with what is necessary for its maintenance. Suppose you're working, you have to continue that. You shouldn't stop. Without becoming agitated when the senses functionally contact their corresponding sense objects. So you don't get agitated. Once you get the knowledge, your tongue wants this for your own, then only for what you need for your body sustenance, you will go for it. Oh Lord, help me to find happiness in remembering and serving you all the time, and not in fleeting contact of sense with sense objects, even though it seems titillating. So, even though you feel like running after different sense objects, try to have the sense that I'm not actually this body and I need to realize myself as a soul. So, the doer one is a jiva situated in the city of 9 gates, or the 9 holes of our body. It's not actually doing any work, nor is it causing any work to be done. It does not create any activities, does not induce others to act, it does not create fruits of action. When one renounces the results, he or she lives happily in this body. Who are the doer 2 and doer 3? So, doer 2, as you know, is material nature, and doer 3 is Paramatma, or the soul. Material nature, the 5.14 verse it goes like this. न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते, which means the embodied spirit, master of the city of his body. He does not create activities. He does not induce people to act. He does not, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is done by modes of nature. So he realizes that the doer is actually the mode of nature. And then in the third doer, which comes in verse 5.15, Krishna says, Nadatte kasya chit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhu ajnanena vritam jnanam na tena muhyanti jantavaha. Nor does the Supreme not assume anyone's sinful or pious activity. So some people say, oh my God, God is the reason. He can actually control everything, but he's not. That's why I'm doing such sinful activities. Or you take credit, for yourself. So actually, God is not going to be interfering in what kind of activities you're doing. You just do what you deserve. Embodied beings are bewildered because of ignorance, which covers their real knowledge, which has to be with the sanction of the Lord. So in 5.15, which we just now saw, Nadate Kasyachit Papam, the basic theme is that you're saying to Krishna, the Paramatma in your heart, that you are my inner deliverer. And you are never, you will, it's not possible for you to be my destroyer. So even if something which appears to be destroying in my life is happening, it's actually for my benefit. So the Lord never impels anyone to do misdeeds. We cannot blame the Lord when we are going and doing something wrong, nor seeks credit for their good deeds. Nor does God say, oh, you're good because I am making you good. No, he doesn't take any responsibility. That's why he's a renunciate. The greatest renunciate is God, Krishna. And their wisdom is covered by ignorance deep, deluded, they seek things that make them weep. So it's because of us that we are in delusion, and then we want things which make us weep, and when we get the things which make us weep, then we crib and we cry, oh God, you did it, you made it happen. No, it's us. We are the ones who are making those things happen. God only sanctions them based on what we have been doing. So the prayer which goes along with this could be, my dear Lord, something inside me frequently catches hold of me and makes me do things which I know are not correct or harmful. So, oh Lord Krishna, please protect me from this force and protect me from the most sinister illusion it hoists upon me. The notion that it is actually you who are my inner destroyer. When we think that God is the destroyer, he is in charge, and so he must be the one doing all this. So that is a toxic illusion. Then I stop fighting against my inner enemy and I start fighting to justify the actions to impel me to do. So help me remember that Krishna, you are my greatest well-wisher and benefactor. Indeed, it was because I was ignorant about you. And why am I ignorant about you? Because Krishna makes you forget Krishna when you didn't want to remember him. So it's according to our own desire that Krishna will say, okay, fine. He doesn't want to force loving service. It should come naturally. And your beneficial will that I previously acted in short-sighted ways, creating deep-rooted conditioning within me over time. So for birds together, we have been conditioned. And these conditions are the self-destructive force. The things which are coming, which are destructive in our life, are because of these birds and birds of conditioning. And then now, in the prayer, it's being said that thankfully, my Lord, you do not hold my past actions against me. Whenever I take even small steps towards healthy choices by struggling against the dark conditioning, you, my Lord, like now, for example, we are sitting now and reading the Gita. We are taking small steps towards a healthy choice. Out of so many students who used to be there in level 1, then there were so few, and now after, by the time we reach chapter 5, we have only 6 or 7 of you who are regular. See? So only, those very few people who are trying to take the baby steps towards the right choice. You have taken the choice to be in the class. Despite maybe you could have been doing so many other things. You struggled against the dark conditions. So, my Lord, eagerly and expertly help me succeed. First in restraining them, rejecting them, and removing them completely. The conditioning. What should you remove? The conditioning. Help me, my Lord, to never mistake the dark inner voice to be your voice. So, what we do is sometimes some stupid things come in our mind, which is wrong. And then we try to think as if, oh, it's God's voice. God is telling me. No, actually, you should be very, very alert. Mind is always cheating you. We will learn in chapter 6 how the mind is the biggest enemy. And we try to think that the mind is me. The mind is not you. You have power to stop the mind from making you do the inner things. The dark inner voice is just your mind, which is acting based on your past karma and desires and forcing you to do things. Instead of thinking that, oh, this particular thing that my mind is saying is probably what God wants me to do, we should practice to listen to our inner voice, which comes unambiguously, means clearly through Krishna's words in the Gita and such scriptures, through the Guru, we get what is right, what is wrong, what should we do, through the Gurus, through the scriptures. And so we are begging Krishna, oh Krishna, please empower me through these words to expel the inner destroyer. Help me to stop thinking that these destructive thoughts are correct. And the third doer is the super soul, and when you know that, you will get enlightenment. So the doer too was the modes of material nature. They are doing everything. Who is doing everything? Tamogun, Rajogun, and Sattvagun. But they are also under the direction of God. Even these material modes or Durga Devi who is protecting this jail of the material world, she is working under the direction of the Lord. She doesn't do anything randomly. And the third doer is the super soul who sanctions. But he is, remember very clearly, he sanctions only and very aloof. The Lord does not take responsibility for the good or bad deeds that you're doing. The soul will desire something, the Lord will not interfere because he's waiting for the soul to desire to go back to Godhead. Any other desire will keep us trapped in this material world. And the Lord sanctions the desires. Just not every desire we have, the Lord will keep on sanctioning. No. The Lord will sanction only those desires which we deserve. Then the modes will carry them out. This is knowledge in the mode of goodness. So when you're in Sattva Gun only, you will understand this knowledge about the three doers. So in verse 13, we saw the role of the soul. The soul is the initiator. The soul is the one which is desiring or doing different karmas. And so it is because of the soul that the different activities are being done. Role of material nature. The material nature is a facilitator, is the one who material nature is the one who makes things happen. And finally, Lord is a sanctioner. So, if one is ignorant about this, then it bewilders him. Nadate kashachit papam nachaiva sukritam vibhu. Ajnane navartam jnanam tena muhyanti jantu. So, one who is in ignorance, he will be very bewildered all the time. So, one more pictorial depiction of the same thing. Who was the doer? The jiva. He first of all desires. And then the super soul will verify and sanction. Simply he will verify and sanction whatever you ask? No. He will check if you deserve the desire that you have, and then he will grant it or not. And then the material nature will implement whatever God has sanctioned. And after receiving the super soul's order, these three modes. What is material nature? It has these three modes with which it makes us dance like puppet. Sattva, Raja and Tamo. And then using those, the jiva's desire is fulfilled. Action is done or non-action is done, or what is the right is done, what is wrong is done. All that will be based on the nature. Now, what is the difference? So in these verses, we are also constantly looking at Jiva and Paramatma, right? So with the Jiva and Paramatma, both are eternal. Both are blissful. And both are actually above the modes. Only difference is the soul is right now not above the modes in its present conditioned, when it's in the jail of this material world, in the material body, we're in the double jail. Material whole world itself is a jail in which we keep on traveling from heavenly planets to hellish planets to earth, back to heavenly or back to hell and this and that. We go in circles. Otherwise, we are, within, what was I saying? One is that it will travel in all these different planetary systems. So it will keep on going in circles. And second, I forgot what I was saying, sorry. So both are eternal, both are blissful, but the soul has to suffer because it is covered by Maya, and the super soul is above all modes. The soul can only be cognizant of his own body. He can only be aware of himself. He cannot be aware of what are the karma and other things and other, previous births and all the knowledge related to other living entities. But God, as super soul in everybody's heart, although he appears to be separate in different, every living entity, he is one. Although he is present in the Paramatma form in different living entities, still he is one. And he is cognizant. Cognizant means he has the knowledge about all the bodies. Every body, what they were in all their previous births, where they are heading to, everything. So soul is Anu, or is atomic in size, very, very small, can never be seen by our material eyes. And the super soul is Vibhu, or omniscient. And we can see everything around us is God himself, but then there is something more than what we are seeing, which Krishna will show in chapter 11. He tells Arjuna, right? You can't see with your material eyes. I'll have to bless you with the divine eyes. Only with your transcendental vision will you be able to see God. And the soul has minute independence. What is, which is to desire. The soul is allowed to desire. But even that is dependent upon super soul, whether the desire will be fulfilled or not. Whereas super soul has got no such dependence. So with that, we finish one section. Let's move on to the next section. It's about liberation by, how will you get liberation? By focusing on the super soul. So one who in knowledge devotionally fixes his consciousness on the super soul and remains materially equipoised, he will attain liberation soon. So what should we do to attain liberation? We have the knowledge. We have been studying Gita level 1 and level 2. Now what should we do? We should devotionally fix our consciousness on the super soul of Krishna within our hearts. And therefore, we will, when we do that, we will be materially equipoised. We will not be distracted by thousand things. We will be able to be Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, eko. Think of only one single-minded devotion you have towards Krishna. And you actually find miraculously you can do everything well when your mind is focused on Krishna. And then you will attain liberation quickly. So this verse that Buddha, so we're looking at verse 5.17. तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः गच्छन्त्यः पुनरावृत्तिम् ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः. So this is a poetic meaning with intelligence covered. Tadbuddhya sadatmanas tadnishtha tadparayana. Mind is fixed in absorption. Intelligence is convinced, and mind is fixed in absorption. With faith is refined, and you have made Krishna the destination. Then what will happen? You'll be cleansed by the wisdom pure and bright. Once you do all these above things, you will find that your wisdom becomes pure and bright. So we see in the Shishtastakam by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So Darpana means mirror, and Arjanam means clean. How? By chanting. So simply by chanting in the Kali Yuga, the only way for us to cross the ocean of material world is through chanting. It's clearly given in many scriptures how chanting only can help us to clean. And when we are cleansed by wisdom, pure and bright, we got this knowledge through chanting. Chanting only gives us, helps us to get the knowledge also. And then they reach a state beyond rebirth side. So they don't need to be reborn again. So this is the meaning of 5.17. So when this knowledge is used to focus on super soul, then you can act in a transcendental way. No more are you acting with your body. You're actually acting in a transcendental way. This is a prayer which goes with this. My consciousness is my fundamental energy, O Lord. So you must first realize that it's not the body, it's not the mind. These are all tools to be used by the consciousness. When the consciousness is asleep or the soul is asleep, then all these tools will take over and make you do all stupid things. So you have to realize that my consciousness is my fundamental energy, O Lord, yet I'm often unaware of how this energy can be used or even misused, my Lord. Your words of wisdom help me understand the various streams along which my consciousness tends to flow. So now you can actually monitor where all your thoughts are going, your consciousness is going. Among all these streams, the most manageable is a stream of intelligence. Intelligence means the power to judge what is right and wrong. That comes with intelligence. If I contemplate your words of wisdom, you think about what Krishna is saying in this, then you become intellectually convinced to invest the consciousness in Krishna. Only when you think deeply, simply you come and sit in the class, and then after that you're going back and just doing all your routine without thinking deeply about the things that we are learning, and now, or listening to further, talks about from chapter 5. Maybe listen to some lectures of chapter 5. So when you constantly are doing that, then your intelligence will be convinced. Intellectually, you should be convinced about this Krishna consciousness. And then what will happen is, because my Lord are the supreme, because my Lord are the supreme source of meaning and happiness, indeed of meaningful happiness. With my intelligence convinced. So once you really think about it, then your intelligence will also be convinced, and then you can direct your mind towards Krishna. Even though my mental stream of my consciousness often seeks instant pleasures, your mind, because you've been enjoying, you have been enjoying with your material senses for so many births. So every time a memory of something that you enjoyed comes, you will want to again go and seek it out. It is very natural. It's not that suddenly you came for this, did level 1, level 2, and now you're become a sannyasi and straight away you can control all your urges. It's not that simple. Escaping from this cycle of birth and death is not so simple. You have to put in your effort, you have to be dedicated, and you have to be patient with yourself. Don't be dejected when you are not able to do it. Just be patient and push yourself. Just be there. Just continue attending the classes and continue doing your japa. Continue trying to improve your japa. Listen to different things. Like, for example, in Damodar month, do this, do that, do this. Why so many? Why? Because our senses cannot just sit and do nothing. You can't say don't do anything and sit and just meditate. No, we have to use our hands to light those little lamps. We use our eyes to look at that ghee lamp, to look at Krishna's image. We use our ears to listen to the Damodar Ashtakam. We use our mind to think about the meaning as we are doing the Ashtakam and the Deeparadhana. So all the senses are being used in the service of Krishna. Then only, that total absorption will happen. Otherwise, if you just say, I'm going to sit and meditate and think of nothing, it's not possible for the mind to do that. So with the mind thus harmonized, bless me, O Lord, to elevate my faith from a mere intellectual proposition to a deeply lived realization. Right now, what is our understanding of Gita? It's just an intellectual proposition. Oh, Krishna is saying you're not the body. Oh, Krishna is saying that, karma, vikarma, karma and all that. But then, are we really realizing it in our life? Are we deeply living that realization? Are we practically every moment trying to implement all this knowledge? And when you do that, I can make you, Krishna is saying, I can make you, no, we are saying that. And when that happens, it is once we get that realization, then we will make Krishna our supreme purpose, our ultimate destination, the supermost object of my love. When you become the shelter of my intelligence, my mind, my faith, aspiration, then I will march towards Krishna wholeheartedly. And this is a very, very important shloka where Krishna is going to say that the wise person will be able to see all with equal vision. So, the learned person will also be very humble. Humble doesn't mean that somebody slaps you and then you sit quietly and don't do anything. If it's something which needs to be retaliated, you need to retaliate, you should retaliate in the appropriate way. Right? That's very important. Don't think that humble means you just bow down. It's not that. In material world, whatever you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to speak to your boss or you reply to somebody, you have to do all that. Just that when you're chanting, you will automatically realize that if this I deserve it. Suppose somebody has said something bad to you and you deserve it because you did something wrong. Then you will not retaliate. But if somebody is doing it unfairly, they're trying to put you down or use you, you will not be used because you are now Krishna conscious, you are chanting, you will be able to see through other people, know that their intentions and act accordingly. You will not just simply be in humble and disposition doesn't mean be cheated. You'll be humble and disposition means in your heart, you see Krishna in everybody's heart. And you know that everything is happening for a reason. So that way you are humble. Because you keep that in your mind always. You'll be able to see a cow, an elephant, a dog, an outpass, and all bodily differences. You'll be able to see past it. You'll not look at the differences. So the verse is that Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shunichaiva Shapake Cha Pandita Samadarshinaha. The humble sages, by virtue of the true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, or a cow, or an elephant, or a dog, or a dog eater. So let's quickly look at the prayer behind this. Oh God, I can avoid causing so much pain and being subjected to so much retaliatory pain if I can just learn to see beyond all my preconceptions and prejudices. I'm not able to understand the Gita. Why? Because I have already so many preconceptions and prejudices. So we're praying, oh God, help me to see everyone, all living beings, even non-human beings. They're all souls just like me. That is, non-living being, human beings means the different plants and animals. They are simply clothed in different bodies. They're all the same soul. The soul is not different inside a tree. It's not different inside an insect. They're all the same soul. And we were also different animals or different things at different times. We've gone through all this 4 lakh 32 species, or whatever it was, 4 lakh 32,000 species or something. So we have gone through all that. Then we have got this human body. So we're also that same soul which is now in a human body. So at one level, I do need to consider their bodily identity and how it affects me. I cannot treat a cat and a tiger in the same way. Like, you go and pet a cat, you say, oh, the tiger and the cat are the same, so you go and pet the tiger in the same. You won't do that. You'll use your sense. But help me, O Lord, to also see them as they truly are. Yet you should be able to see them that they are souls, they are precious parts of you, of God. Everybody is a part of God beyond how they affect me. So guide me, O Lord, to help everyone. Try to spread this message as much as possible in their journey of spiritual evolution towards you. Everybody is moving ultimately towards Krishna. Only that some of them are so crowded with the desires and karma that they are unable to see. But still, you should be able to see that they are in their journey. Krishna loves everyone and wants everyone to go back. So Krishna will make arrangements. So don't be very much worked up. But then you must try. Just as I'm striving to move ahead in my own journey. And if they are not ready for my help for some reason, let me not get hung up on that. Don't keep on bothering. Suppose your children, you tell them chant and they're not, don't be too bothered. In time, Krishna will guide them and get them to Krishna consciousness. Because that is the goal ultimately. Instead, let me continue in my own evolution, spiritual evolution, when I offer them my best wishes. I'll pray for them, I'll wish them well, but those who are not ready for it, we can't do anything about it. The more I desire and strive for the good of others, the more I can help decrease the strife in this world. So you're just helping to reduce the pain in the world. Once you have the knowledge, there's no more pain. And the more I cultivate a healthy consciousness, a pure heart, the more I can stay undistracted by people's behavior. As you go progress in the Bhagavad Gita knowledge, you make it practical, you will find that people's behavior will not distract you. You'll be able to continue in your spiritual journey. So, what have we seen from this verses 17 and 18? If you fix your consciousness on the super soul which is within you, within everybody, you constantly see that the super soul is one and the same and present everywhere. Then that person's intelligence, mind, faith, and refuge are focused. He's free from all doubts also because he knows that there are three doers and he sees the super soul is sanctioning, but you also know that super soul is impartial except towards devotees. And he sees with equal vision because he has knowledge that he is not the body and that he has knowledge about the super soul. So I think it's almost 10:55. I wanted to finish the chapter, but I think the last section will have to be done tomorrow. I think I'll be able to start chapter 6 tomorrow. And then I was thinking for Diwali, 2 days after tomorrow's class, we can meet after the Diwali week. Is that fine? What do you say?
Sure, Mataji.
Diwali will be difficult to meet, right? So I think Diwali will be definitely 20 and 21 are the 2 days of Diwali. So we will skip those 2 days and meet after that. So let me just do a little more today. So what are the symptoms of a self-realized person? How do we know that a person is self-realized? Is given in 5.19 and 20. So those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity, you have conquered the conditions of birth and death. And they are flawless like Brahman. And thus they are already situated in Brahman. Brahman is basically the energy of the Lord. And a person who neither rejoices when you get something pleasant, nor does he cry too much, lament and sit and cry when you obtain something unpleasant. Such a person is self-intelligent. Self-intelligent means he knows about the fact that he's a soul and he'll be unbewildered. And he knows the science of God. Such a person is situated in transcendence. So, in 5.19 and 20, this has been expressed. In 5.21, what does Krishna say? And when you become liberated like that, how do you become liberated? When you're able to be in equanimity and you're able to rejoice and not become too happy or too sad based on things that are happening. And you know the science of God, you know about three doers. And when you become such a liberated person, then you will automatically, it's not something you have to force. Oh my God, I'm studying the Gita. I should not be attracted to material desire. No, there's no need to strive very hard because when you start chanting, you become liberated. And when you become liberated, you will not feel attraction anymore. You actually see the difference in your life. You will not feel motivated to all these sense pleasures. You can find it as it's a practice, it's a science experiment. This is what the Gita is saying. Let me try it out. Try out the japa. You'll find automatically, you'll find other things have no pleasure. You'll not find anything great about all these pleasures. So, and such a liberated person will be in a trance because he's always happy within. And in this way, a self-realized person, also called an Atmaram, he enjoys unlimited happiness because his mind is always concentrating on the Paramatma. So this whole section is telling us about concentration on the Paramatma. We'll just finish this prayer and then we can conclude. 5.20 and 21 prayers we'll finish and then we'll try and conclude. So what are we saying in 5.20? Oh God, please help me to be spiritually dedicated without being materially diverted. So getting the desirable, one who is not elated. And when you get the undesirable, one who is not dejected. And one who is firm in wisdom, free from all illusion. He knows the divine is and he's infused with realization. So we're saying, oh Krishna, you know what? I get very captivated by dualities. It happens, you can actually notice it. We become suddenly happy, suddenly sad, thinking that the next good thing that will make my life wonderful, the next bad thing will unmake my life. Oh, it's going to make it dreadful. So we are telling Krishna, oh Krishna, please help me see that these situations in my life are not what they are hyped to be. Our mind, has a tendency to hype everything. Something bad happens, oh my God, this terrible thing happened. Something good happens, you makes it too huge. We don't realize that these will come and go. The more I get fixated on the things which happen in my life, good or bad, whether craving for positive things to happen or dreading the negative things, the more what will it make me do? It will keep me distracted from Krishna. You will start not be able to connect with Krishna if you're constantly worrying or being happy or sad about material things. So, what should be our prayer? Oh God, to gain realization of how enriching absorption in you is. Once please help me to realize that if I actually think of you or chant your name throughout the day, whatever I'm doing, how enriching my life is going to be. Becoming absorbed in you is like receiving a big treasure, like for example, $50 billion or something. It's huge, it's nothing small. Thinking about Krishna all the time cannot even be compared to $50 billion. It's like a huge achievement. So, what are we praying? Please help me get it. The big $50 billion thing. What is that? Absorption in Krishna. Let me not lose a chance to attain the treasure by getting caught in, trivial things like some $50 or something. We're just running after some $50 and of joy, which is temporary material joys. When in Krishna consciousness you get a joy which is equal to like 50 billion, so many times more. And so life's ups and downs amount to in the long run. Let this realization of the comparative value of the material and spiritual take deep root in my heart. Let my heart deeply understand the difference between material pleasure and spiritual pleasure. Please let me understand that this material pleasures are temporary and they will definitely end in sadness and disappointment. But the spiritual pleasure is what we need to run after. Please, oh Lord, make my intelligence steady and strong, that whenever my emotional reactions go wrong, I orient myself before too long and remember that remember you that I actually long. That actually my heart is longing to remember Krishna and to love him. So it's time up. I think this particular 5.22 onwards we will do next class. Vanchar kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namaha.
Hare Krishna Mataji, you were supposed to make some announcement for next week.
Supposed to?
Make some announcement about the class for the next week, no?
Yeah, I did that. I said
Yeah,
that.
you did that. But no, in
I'm
between
just
I was disconnected because of weak internet here. So
no,
I didn't know that you have given it.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Mataji, thank you, thank
I
you.
will make the announcement again. So tomorrow will be a class. We hopefully we definitely finish chapter 5. Maybe start on chapter 6. And next week, Monday and Tuesday will be our Deepavali. So we will meet after that Deepavali week after that. So and
Okay.
thank you once more. I thank each one of you. I hope you have marked your attendance. Prabhuji, you've shared the attendance, no?
Yes, Mataji, I've already shared it and you may have to disconnect live.
Ah, yes, yes. So please let me disconnect. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining.